So now I'm going to show you the basic knit stitch. This is sort of the foundation for everything that you're going to do. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your right hand needle and you're going to insert it into the front of this stitch on your left hand needle, and you should push it down so that it's past the pointy end. Again, just like when we were casting on, you want the body of the needle to determine the size of your stitch, not the smaller point. So push it down so that it is on your right hand needle, it is around the body of the needle. On your left hand needle, you can sort of compensate by drawing it so that it's closer to the pointy end. It doesn't really matter as much on the left hand. So then you're going to take your yarn and you're going to wrap it around your right hand needle from right to left behind. So you're going to go right to left and around. So again, you're going to go right to left and around and just lay it on the needle. Again, it shouldn't be too tight. It shouldn't be too loose either, but it should be, the yarn should move fairly freely on the needle. Then what you're going to do, just like how we did when we cast on, is you're going to draw the needle through the yarn on the left hand side. So it'll look like this. See that? And then you're going to pull the stitch off the left hand needle. So again, you're going to push the needle through so that it's the stitch is caught between both your right and left hand needle, but on your right hand needle it should be around the body of the of your needle. Then you're going to wrap around the needle from right to left, back to front, and then you're going to draw it through and off. So what's happening is that the left hand needle, the stitch that's on the left hand needle, is catching the yarn so that it locks it into place. So this right here, this little stitch right here, that actually just came off of your left hand needle, and it's trapping the yarn to create a stitch on the right hand needle. So again, you're going to push through, wrap around, pull, push through. You should never release the string from the yarn from your right hand. Okay, so it's always just going to be at the ready position to be ready to throw it around the needle when you need to. So you're going to go through, wrap around, and pull off. And then again, you just sort of adjust your left hand. You might need to adjust your right, the stitches on your right as well, to move them down in order to allow for more room. So pull through, around. And what I do is once you've done this and you need to get ready to sort of drop the right hand needle in order to loop the yarn around your right hand needle, is I'll hold everything in place with the thumb on my left hand. Okay, so you're going to push it through, makes like a little X, wrap it around, release. What I also used to do when I was younger, and it wasn't really necessary, and my mom used to, when I asked her about it, she sort of made fun of me, is I used to push the needle through with my pointer finger. It made my hand hurt really bad, as you can imagine. It just, that pressure on my finger, even though these aren't really sharp, would sort of irritate it. And you don't really need to do that. If you're careful and you keep your needle sort of rubbing together, none of the stitches will pass off, and you don't need to push this needle with your pointer finger. You can just sort of let it go down, and then keeping the tip of your needle on the your left hand needle, you can just sort of draw everything past and through without having to sort of push the needle in any way. You might need to adjust. Again, it just takes practice. It feels really awkward at first, and it used to frustrate me a lot when I was little. My hands weren't really all that coordinated to do it, but once you get the hang of it, you should be okay. The first row is always the hardest and will always be the loosest, but just keep going through it. I promise the next couple rows are going to be a lot easier. And there you go. And that is your basic knit stitch. When you get to the end of the row, all you have to do is everything will be on your right hand needle. You turn your work around. So now this is your left hand needle, and place your yarn in the back. Okay, so your yarn should always be in the back for your knit stitch, and then you readjust. This first stitch is going to be really weird, but that's okay. Make sure you hold your yarn how you like to hold it, and you're going to you're going to make sure that you put it through the yarn that's attached to the ball. Don't put it back through this old knit stitch. So there, you just push it through the same way that we did before. Wrap around, pull through. Again, that first stitch is going to be a little awkward. It's going to be a little looser than the other ones as well. And then you just knit your way back. When this is considered the wrong side, so everything is done on when you do the whole thing in this knit stitch, the pattern is called stockinette. Okay, and it should look, you'll see it looks like a little waves. There's a little V row, and then there's a little wavy row. I don't know if you can see that. So there you go. Let me see. Okay, so just keep practicing, and eventually you will get the hang of it.